Hi everybody. Sorry I'm like a minute too late. I had to just got off a conference call. So my apologies for that in case y'all were waiting for me to jump on tonight. But welcome to the Stewy Reports. Yes, it is episode 23. I had to go back and double check everything. Oh hi Zach, how you doing? So yeah, I can't believe we almost got through 25 episodes already. That's an achievement in itself. So thank you guys for some of y'all been here from the first episode and now been lying with me. So thank you for that. And then pretty much that's a go. But if you're new to the channel or this will be your first time watching me, I'm doing a story report. Hello, nice to have you aboard. Just a quick introduction of myself, like I do every week. My name is Reverend Rasheen Stewart. I am going to be 40 in 3 months from now. God, I'm getting old. Yeah, so I'll be 40 in about 3 months because today's the last day of February. So 3 months from now, I'll be 40 years old. I live in Orlando, Florida. I've been a big sports fan pretty much all my life. Big racing fan since 1985. Grew up a big Bill Elliott fan, Mario Andretti fan. Formula One at the time was Alan Prost was on the come up, and Nigel Mansell and Anton Senna. For drag racing was Bob Gritton, Don Distinct-Perdone, and Shirley Muldowney. Those are the people I pretty much cheer for in racing. And then I think Eddie Lawson was starting to be on the come up for that MotoGP back then. A good question. How's my day going? My day's been actually going really good. Surprisingly, but yes, it has been going well. I will admit to that. It has gone very well today. So, I did get a sale today. I do telemarketing sales right now for vacation, but I actually got a sale today. I would have had a second. Actually, I'm on the verge of getting a second. I had to call that person back tomorrow to finish that appointment. So I will most likely have a second sale tomorrow to build on momentum for the last day of the week and go from there. So hopefully you guys have been doing okay. We got a lot. I hope we have a lot to talk about today, and I got some notes today. Y'all see some notes. I wrote down a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about today, and it's not all NASCAR related. There's a lot of big things going on in sports, and not just NASCAR related. You know, I'm a little upset with Tiger Woods and the way he blew wreck in a golf event last week. That's another story for another day. But we'll talk about that later on the show. But also, if you haven't got a chance or exactly, or anybody else is coming online, I did do a video for the last few days called my 2021 Cup, not my dream schedule, but what I would like to see for the 2021 Monster Cup Energy schedule. If you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend that you do. I thought it was a very interesting schedule, and maybe somewhere down the line later on this year I might expand on it a little bit more. Because there is a project that is coming with that schedule, but I won't be able to start that to 2020. But as the year goes on, I will post a video out there, and I'll let you know what the schedule is going to be and how it's going to work, because I'm going to have some people behind the scenes are going to be doing some stuff for me for that project. So look out for that later on this year. Also, this coming month in March, I will be having an update video on what's going on with my schedule, what's going on with my ministry, because I do have a ministry I do on the side. Some of my side adventures to make extra cash to kind of get some stuff done on YouTube to make these YouTube videos better, not just my Stewy reports. You know, that's my big focus on the channel right now, but also when I do post videos, because someone brought a very interesting point to me the other day. If I had better editing software, my what you call will blow up. And I actually going to talk to him about it, see what software I need to get. So I want to thank you for the advice. I did get one little hit of criticism a while back, but I thank you for it because I looked into it, and because of it, I haven't done it as much. Certain mannerisms I do in the video he called. So he said if I don't do this as much, I'll probably get more people watching than it did. I think I got more people watching that last week because I caught myself in the mannerism he was talking about. So yes, so I do take advice. I do take some positive criticism, as long as it comes in a positive way. Like I said, I don't dislike any comments for all intents and purposes. I like every comment. I will heart every comment in the videos. I'll shout you out when you say hello. I just want you guys to feel love. I want you to feel like you're part of this show because this show is mostly because of you. Ain't really because of me per se, because I love talking about sports regardless. I could do that all day, all night with my friend. If I had friends I really want to talk to. Oh, well, let's get right into it. First, we'll get to the racing news, and then we got a lot of other big sporting news that came out in the last few days that I want to talk about. First, let's talk about the Atlanta race. I know a lot of people from the live stream, if you see the weekly NASCAR podcast, do you just found out how most people thought the race? On the average, based on what I saw in the chat and what I saw and heard from the people who was on the podcast, the average score is like around a 7.25 out of 10, roughly. If I had a rough guess, maybe a little over 7 out of 10. I gave the race about a 7 on the head out of 10. So it was about average what I gave the race for Atlanta. I thought it was good racing. All three cities had good racing at some point. It wasn't very crappy. There was a couple times the leader got away a little bit, but wasn't as distinct as last year. That's one thing I did notice from going into this year. The intervals were very shorter than last year because I think the eventual winner was like 11 to 12 seconds ahead. This year was only a quarter of a second, or could have been as much as they say it haven't been for Truex picking up the pace at the end of the race. It had been at least 2.5 seconds, which was good. We've been closer racing, more exciting. The lead starts were crazy, like some 4 wide. I think one time I saw 5 wide in one of the corners. That was good to me. I like seeing those type of restarts. I hope we see the same at Vegas. I'm still holding up judgment on the new aero package until Vegas because this is the first one where everything's coming with the aero ducts where it's supposed to be. I think we still had the big spoiler with the first 2, but now this is really the first test where everything that the new package is supposed to be. So, like I said, I'm going to reserve judgment on that until next week's episode, until after I see the race in Vegas. So, no judgment for me yet until next week. Okay, the winners really fast. Kyle Busch won in the trucks. A lot of people say that's no surprise. Yeah, and that's not really a surprise to me. That was his 52nd victory, most ever in the Truck Series, passing Hall of Famer Ron Holiday. We know pretty much if Kyle Busch will retire tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned, he's first of all he's the first ballot Hall of Famer, number one. Number two, he's in my book he's now a top 10 NASCAR driver of all time. I think he might be 10 on the head on my list. I think he's barely past Gerald Jarrett if I had to put a 10th. Based on what I see, people I've seen since I've been alive. Yeah, I still put Richard Petty number one because he didn't win a lot of races when I saw a race watching, but he's still number one because of the overall wins and his popularity. As far as I'm concerned, then it'll be Earnhardt 2, maybe Pearson 3, then Joe Gordon and Johnson will be a real good heads up for a 4th, depending on who you ask. I will put probably Gordon slightly here because of the more wins, but Jimmy Johnson has the more titles. So, I will put Bill Elliott on my list because I grew up a Bill Elliott fan. I'll probably put an 8th or 9th of all time since I've been alive. Tony Stewart's high on my list. Mark Martin for all 3 states could be a borderline top 10 driver, at least since I've been alive. I'm not saying all-time NASCAR driver. I will probably say definitely top 20 all-time if I had to put an all-time list. So if we're going to just go all-time, I would probably say 1, Richard Petty, 2, Dale Earnhardt, 3, David Pearson, 4, Jeff Gordon, 5, Jimmy Johnson, 6. I'm not going to put Kyle Busch 10. I'm going to put him 6. 6, Kyle Busch. 7, Tony Stewart. 8, Cale Yarborough. 9, Bill Elliott. And 10, Dale Waltrip. Actually, I'll put Waltrip 9. I know I want to put 9 for Bill Elliott. That was his call number. 9, Dale Waltrip. And 10, Bill Elliott. And then a tie for 11 be Mark Martin and Dale Jarrett. That'll be a tie for 11. Those are the 12 best I've seen since I've been alive. That's my top 12 all-time greatest NASCAR drivers. Y'all could debate that maybe when y'all play this video down the line. Y'all say, huh? You forgot so-and-so. Or what about what's his name? But I'm just telling you my opinion. Now, I could be wrong. Y'all can walk in the chat, and when he watches down the line, put it in the comment section. I'll probably get a little flack from it, but oh well. Like I said, the racing was good. Christopher Bell winning at with the Super. I thought that was good to see the Super win, and the Mustang won. So pretty much both the new cars have now won it right away, which is very interesting. But the Mustangs, I knew it was going to win eventually, but I didn't think it was going to win that quick. I thought it was going to take maybe a few races for the car to get used to being a truck. I don't think it'll be as bad as Chevy was last year. It took a while before they finally got the first win. But I thought it was going to take at least a few weeks before they get the first win. If not, on the restricted play. So, to see it win their second race of the season, I thought that was very impressive. And Super to win on the second race of the season is very impressive. I heard they almost could have won at Daytona. And having for some circumstances beyond their control, they could have won Daytona. So I thought that was interesting too. So it is what it is on that. So, and I think the Mustang could have won at Daytona. Again, for circumstances beyond their control at the end of the race. I think Toyota was the dominant car at Daytona. I forgot to mention that in last week's. I still think right now Toyota is the number one car right now in probably all three series, but definitely now looks like in the Xfinity, it looks like the Super is going to be a car to beat this year. It looks like the Camry and the Ford is going to go out. I mean, the Camaro's going to get theirs eventually, but how long? I hope it doesn't take us long before Chase Elliott finally gets the one win for the banner first. I hope somebody gets it before then. We're going to find out. We'll see how that plays out. Now, technically, yes, Chevy already won, the non-points pay race. It was the duels. But, not the duels, the Clash. But still, it's going to be very interesting. How long will you think Chevy's going to take? I think if they're going to win it, I think they're going to win by California. And I think it could be Kyle Larson to win at California if Chevy breaks through. So, probably a couple weeks from now. So, we'll see how that goes. Yes, I've seen what Kyle Larson was, but there was a little bit of a controversial statement. He said all that Hendrick Motorsports was cheating. And I was like, wow, really? You're going to go there with Hendrick cheating? I know some people in the past thought Hendrick was just cheating or sandbagging in the second half of the year. That's what some people think behind the circles. I don't think they cheat. Sometimes you have your struggles, and then you pick up as the year goes along. So, on that, it is what it is, but I think he was a joke. I don't think he took it seriously. I don't think we should either. Now we'll talk about some more racing stuff, because before the end of this video, I'm going to do my preview picks for the Vegas race, because all three series are going to be racing this weekend at Vegas. Before the end of this show, I'm going to give you my thoughts and predictions who I think is going to win each race. Because I don't know who's going to be the Cup drivers in the Xfinity race or the truck. I'm just going to pick like a regular truck driver, a regular Xfinity driver, then I'm going to pick who I think is going to win in the Cup Series, of course. But that'll be towards the end of the show. But now to my notes. Now, the first big note, it was a breaking news today that Bryce Harper, former National, now with the Phillies, it didn't say how many years yet, but he signed a $330 million contract with the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah, I'm going to say that number one more time. Let that marinate for a minute. Let that stew in. No pun intended, my last name Stew. But $330 million. The richest contract in baseball history and the biggest for a free agent. But here's the thing, though, with Mike Trout being a free agent in 2 years, if Bryce Harper can get 330, and I think Mike Trout's almost the same age, maybe a year older by the time he gets to free agency. If he's doing still good numbers with the Anaheim Angels, who knows what that contract's going to be like 350, 400 million. I'm going to be interested to see what numbers he's going to get. Especially going to be a lot of good free agents next year in baseball. Depending on what they get, I think it's going to determine what Mike Trout's going to get for the end of the 2020 season, going to 2021. So things are about to get rampant. Oh, we have breaking news. Wichita State beat UConn on a buzzer beater. Okay. So I want you all to let me know what you think with the Bryce Harper $330 million contract. You think he went to the right team? I'm a Yankees fan. I'm going to say hell no. But if he's going to go National League, I thought he's going to go with the Dodgers. I thought the Mets could have stepped up at the last minute, could have got him something. If he's going to stay in the East, I would have him seen with the Mets. But because that's a New York team outside the Yankees, I don't mind seeing the Mets win the World Series. I'm glad he didn't side with Boston. That would have been like annihilation. That would have been another dynasty right there in itself. I don't want to see that. So, but if you go in AL, it was me outside the Yankees. Maybe the Cubs could have been nice for the NL. But the only other team I could have seen with the AL and I could have dealt with it, and I would not have been totally happy with it, it would have been Houston. But that would have been the only other team I would have dealt with that. Everything else would be like, okay, that's cool. Maybe Seattle, I would have dealt with that. I wouldn't mind that. To have somebody replace Robinson Cano, that would have been fine. And I just found Cano went to the Mets for a 2-year deal. So Robinson Cano's back in New York again, so it might be ending his career there. So very interesting, but looking forward to see how that works out. Second non-big sports news that also came out today. Most of these came out today. One or two of them within the last couple days, but Jason Witten, as you know, the famous tight end of I take that back. Now with the Cowboys again, he came out of retirement. He's going to be playing one more season with the Cowboys. He signed a 1-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys to come back next season. He's out of Monday Night Football. I heard they talking to some people already about replacing him in the booth. I don't know. I would like to see Randy Moss in the booth. I think that would be cool. I think he'll bring a different perspective to the game. Maybe even bring back a Michael Irvin to ESPN or bring Deion Sanders to ESPN and with the Monday Night booth. I think that would be cool. That's just my opinion. You all let me know in the chat who you like to see replace Witten in the Monday Night booth. Should it keep it at 2 or should it go to 3 when it was at its peak? I think Monday Night Football would be good with 3 people in the booth, my opinion. But it's nice to see Jason Witten back with the Cowboys. We already know he's a Hall of Famer anyway. So maybe you feel that Cowboy situation is good now with him, with Amari Cooper, now him being back in himself, being the solid tight end. He may not be starting, but he'll be a good tight end, a good piece that it gives Dak another weapon, to use. They'll probably, I heard they're going to draft a receiver within the first 2 rounds again, so one more extra receiver, more weapons for Dak. So I think Dak Prescott is a make it or break it here for him to see if he can push through and actually win a playoff game. So we'll see how that goes. Actually, he did win a playoff game this year, so we'll see if he can win another one next year if they make the playoffs. But I'm a Giants fan. I hope not, but it is what it is. So, okay, next, quickly, we're going to be going to talk about Kyler Murray. A lot of people think it could be the projected number 1 draft pick. Some people got him at number 1. A lot of people got him as number 2 draft pick, only behind Joey Bosa. But he's definitely a top 3 or 4 prospect in the NFL draft for sure. Now he's easily by far, hands down, he is. I won't say the consensus number 1 quarterback, but right now a lot of people who are experts in the draft are saying for all intents and purposes, he is the number 1 quarterback, and Haskins is like 2. Easily, what's his name? One of the guys from West Virginia, that Fuller guy, I think they say a lot of people now putting him as the number 3 quarterback. Some people have another guy. I forgot what school he went to. One of those mid majors. As the number 3 quarterback. But it's not a good quarterback class this year, other than Murray and Haskins, and maybe Will Fuller. Are probably the 3 best ones from top to bottom. And then you could say 4, 5, and 6 could be like late second or third rounders. That's almost borderline. We'll see how that goes. After that, after those 3, I heard it's a big drop off. So we'll see how it goes. With that, I'll give you more information about that as the next week's show. All right, moving on to one of the bigger news today. I saw doing work around 4 or 5 o'clock. Robert Kraft, the owner of the the owner of the Patriots. Thank you. It's been a long day at work, so don't mind me. But the Patriots has pled not guilty to 1 count of solicitation. I know there's at least 1 count for sure. Now, I looked it up in the statute in Florida where I live at. Just solicitation of prostitute is depending on what the age of the prostitute is and whatever. Since I think it's a massage parlor and they're saying all the people over 18, then it's just down to a first-degree misdemeanor. But he is looking at least a first-degree felony misdemeanor, which is punishable up to 1 year in jail, 364 days. Because if you go 365 in the state of Florida, that's automatic Department of Corrections. That's going to be a maximum of 10 and a half months. Because we do it's 85% of the sentence here in Florida. So he'll be looking at just about 1 year in jail, up to a few $1,000 fine, and no probation afterwards. Does he have to register as an SO? Because I think it's a misdemeanor. I don't think he'll have to register as a sex offender, but he will have to register as a felon. Even with misdemeanor, you still have to register. So you'll have to register as a felon. My guess is he's going to get off on probation. At worst case, he's going to get community. I think he's going to end up getting community service. He's going to end up just paying some fines and penalties. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. And he'll just keep it moving. That's my thing. All the money he's got. He's going to pretty much buy his way out. And he's going to at least get off with a minor penalty. He'll still get some type of punishment, but I think it's going to be minor compared to what I think he could have got if it would have been worse of solicitation. As far as I'm concerned. So I'm just going about the statute. If I'm wrong, someone tell me in the chat or when you replay this, like what the actual statute is. But what I saw on the internet, that's what I heard was the statute. So, moving on from that, we're going to be talking about R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson could be the number 1 draft pick, and they're both from the same school, Duke. Right now, up until the Zion knee strain, he's still day to day. Up until that point, about a week and a half ago, not everybody, but Zion Williamson, for a lot of people's opinion, who cover the NBA, especially the draft experts, they projected him as the number 1 pick, but R.J. Barrett number 2, but R.J. Barrett being the better long-term prospect. Because Zion Williamson's upside is ridiculous. He could be as great as LeBron James, or he could be a bigger bust as like a Great Oldham or not like a Kwame Brown bust, but I'll say more of like a Great Oldham bust. But he could be somewhere in the middle, like a Sean Kemp in his prime, to a Charles Barkley type, which would be, we know Charles Barkley's a Hall of Famer. We know Sean Kemp's a borderline Hall of Famer. So if you're talking about playing half as good as Sean Kemp and be a borderline Hall of Famer for his size, leaping ability, and massive strength for his body weight, he's like a bigger version of. It's kind of like, in a way, if Larry Johnson and Blake Griffin had a baby, but a little bit darker version, that's Zion Williamson right there. The ridiculous house of Blake Griffin, the size of Grandma, some of the intelligence and ball handle of a Charles Barkley, a little bit of good passing ability like a LeBron. Not quite as good as LeBron when he was his age, but very solid, and he can go with both hands, which I think LeBron could do, but I think he developed it more year goes along. I think Zion already has that. That's one thing I think he's a little bit better than LeBron at his age than LeBron. He could use both hands to the basket. I think LeBron's a little more predominantly right hand. Now, he did have a left hand game, but he didn't really use it as much. I think over the years, he got better with that. So, but Zion can go almost borderline ambidextrous, and that's kind of scary. He could dribble and handle on both hands. You don't see a lot of people do that. Some of his skill sets is sick, and we haven't really seen a lot of that in NBA history. So, Zion Williamson, for me, that's a bad boy. That is a bad boy. I'm gonna say, sir, that boy is bad, and I'm telling you, he gets his game right. There's not gonna be a lot of people gonna be messing with him in the NBA. There's gonna be a lot of people get the world out of his way when he goes to the rim next year. And a lot of people already projected him to win next year's slam dunk contest if he's in the league. Assuming he stays healthy, I think he'll be I think he'll be the outright favorite. I don't know if he'll win, but he'll be the outright favorite. Now, this guy from Murray State is supposed to be a leaper, and this guy could jump out of a building as well. He could project to be high in the NBA draft as well. I'm going to be interested to see if he's going to enter the draft next year. So enough about that. Oh, I forgot to write this one down, but breaking news today, in case you all didn't see it on ESPN earlier, there was reports that Johnny Manziel is no longer in the CFL, and he's not allowed to come back to CFL. He's pretty much been barred from the CFL due to breach of contract for the league, not the Montreal football team. A lot of speculation that he failed a drug test, or he didn't go to like rehab or whatever, certain stipulation. He was supposed to go to meetings. Something that was one of the rumors. We don't know the exact thing, but a lot of people are speculating that's probably why. But he also, remember now with the AAF, the Alliance American Football League, is starting this season. It's already like in the season already. Big shout out to my Orlando team, they're 3-0 going to this weekend. So shout out to them. I think that was really good. I think that's good. The local team's doing well. And also shout out to Trent Richardson. 5 rushing touchdowns already, leads the lead in that. I think he's second or third in overall touchdowns. So, yes, that's good. So, if he's trying to get a second chance in the NFL, he's doing really good with that. And there's also talks that Colin Kaepernick is trying to get in that league, or especially with the XFLs coming next year. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be playing football at some point, either this year or next year. So, yeah, I think Johnny Manziel will be in a football uniform, if not before the end of the Alliance Football League season ends. Definitely next year, the American Alliance. I'm sorry, I got to get used to that name. American Alliance Football League. But at some point before the next calendar year, you're going to see Johnny Manziel in a football uniform on some field, and you're going to see Colin Kaepernick on a field. After you won that settlement for the NFL, you're darn right. You're going to see him on a field now. I don't think he'll be as blackballed in those other leagues. And I think at some point you're going to see that, and I think you're going to see some real good competition at that point. So, and there was even talks they're still trying to get Tim Tebow maybe to play a little bit of football next year in the XFL. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that could be very interesting. And speaking about Tebow, he was saying the other day that this is a make it or break a year for him, trying to make the Mets. Because last year he went all the way up to Double-A. This year, I think at a minimum, he's going to start at Double-A. They're going to try to get him up to Triple-A this year. And maybe if things work out, they're projected to get him Tim Tebow a few Major League Baseball games maybe by September. When they put the 40-man roster, regardless of they make it a playoff run or not. I think that'll be good, and see if he can be box office and make a difference. And maybe in 2020 he can get a full-time deal with the Mets. I'd rather see him in pinstripes, but if he can make it work with the Mets, and more power to him, and I'll be happy for him. Not saying I'll wear his jersey, but I'll be happy for him. Next, really quickly, this coming Saturday night is the big UFC main event fight with John Bones Jones his first fight back after his suspension versus Anthony Smith. I think that's light. Yes, for the UFC light heavyweight title. John Jones is the heavy favorite, but they say Anthony Smith is the real deal. I will say very quickly, if it's not a knockout, I say Bones, because he has technically the champion's advantage with the judges. I think he'll win by unanimous decision. It'll probably be a close fight on scoring. I think he'll average, maybe because it's free judge, I think he'll win like 49, 47, 50, 48, 49, 47, something like that. Something close like that. It'll be close enough that it'd be like, man, this guy, the other guy gave up a good fight. I think he's going to go all 5 rounds, but I think John Jones will win in 5. So that's my pick. Well, once in a while this year, we'll also talk about fighting stuff. And then about towards the end of next month, we'll talk about WrestleMania preview. Yeah, I'll even talk about wrestling at some point this year. I'll give my picks on some of the big, not every match, but like the bigger matches, like the Raw title, women's title, the Universal title, the WWE title, those big matches. I'll let you know who I think is going to win and what's going to happen. And yes, for the record, John Cena will be doing something at WrestleMania. We don't know exactly what yet, but he will be fighting somebody this year. There's a lot of talks about that big name in the NXT is John put his name in the hat to fight John Cena. I don't remember the exact name, but that was a rumor going around today that one of the NXT big names right now in the NXT division, it wants to show John Cena what time it is, that his era is over, that his era is about to start. So that could be like passing the torch, from John Cena to the next generation. So we'll see. Maybe that could be a possibility. Or maybe John Cena could have a match with somebody he hasn't had in a while, and that could be a box office match. And it even talks that maybe CM Punk could be coming back to WrestleMania, even just as a guest appearance. So maybe they bury the hatchet with him. That's just rumors. We haven't heard nothing confirmed or denied that yet. So I'll keep you posted with Stewy reports if I hear anything close to that. Quickly, the last quick thing, 2 things. One, hockey. I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but it's a sport, I will mention it really fast. As of today, the 2 best teams in hockey right now in the East is the Tampa Bay Lightning. In fact, they're the best team in the league by points, and most people think they've been the best team most from start to finish. And in the Western Conference is Calgary. At the playoffs today, one of the 2 New York teams will make it. The Islanders will be the 4th seed, and actually will have a home series game, I think against Pittsburgh. I'm not totally sure. All the defending Stanley Cup champions, Washington. I will double check and let you guys know by the time we get to Stanley Cup playoffs. The Rangers are 14th, but they still mathematically can make the playoffs. They're only 4 or 5 points behind the 8th seed. So like 6 to 4 teams only separated by 8 points. So a lot can change in the last couple of weeks. You can go from making the play all the way down to almost one of the last couple of teams in the East. That's how wide open the hockey, even the Western Conference. I think from 8th to 13th is only 7 points, and 3 teams are tied for 11th. So it doesn't take a lot of points. You can get on a 3-4 game winning streak, and you can go from 11th all the way to making the playoffs. You can go all the way out. So that's why a lot of people, the experts say it's gonna come out to the last weekend of the season before we will know every position is gonna be locked in or not. So, and then lastly, as far as the other sports news really fast, Orlando City soccer team. They'll be playing against my New York City Football Club this Saturday at the Orlando City soccer stadium in downtown Orlando at around 2:30, 3 o'clock Eastern time. I'm not saying I'll be at the game yet, but if certain seconds work out, I will be there. If not, I'll be in a nearby sports restaurant watching the game. So if anybody's in the downtown Orlando area Saturday, come say hello to your boy. Say hello. I'll say hello and I'll shout you on the future video. I am working on getting a P.O. box. So once I get my P.O. box, I will let you know, and it'll be in the description. Not in the studio report, but when I do videos, it'll be in the description. So you might want to send me some NASCAR, any type of mail. I'll shout you on the future video. I promise you that. But now quickly towards the end of the show, we're going to do my predictions for the Las Vegas week. Tomorrow night's the truck race. I'm gonna pick Johnny Sauter to win the truck race in the GMS truck. Like I said, I'm picking regulars for both the Xfinity and Truck Series because I know there'll be Cup guys in both, but I don't know in which division. I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. I didn't see the entry list. But I know Natalie Decker will be in this race as far as I know. So I'm looking forward to see how she does. Hopefully she does better in the first two races. And I heard that. And we'll go from there. In the Xfinity series, I'm gonna go with Cole Custer to win at Vegas. But I will look out for Christopher Bell, and then I think if Jeffrey Earnhardt's racing, because the teammates, watch out for him this weekend too. But also watch Tyler Legg. Don't be surprised Tyler Legg is up there too. He's considered. One thing about Tyler Legg, I don't know if he's gonna win a race before the playoffs, but he'll be solid in the top 12 because he'll probably get enough points to get in on points. So that boy's gonna be something to come, to mess with when we get to Vegas. And also Elliott Sadler was announced today. He's coming out of retirement. He'll be doing 3 races. We know at least one of them would be Vegas, one would be Richmond. I didn't see the other one yet, but he said he'll be doing 3 races for Craig Collig Racing. As I pronounce it, he's in the number 10, the one that Ross Chastain drove at Daytona. So yeah, he'll be driving that car for 3 races this year. So nice to see Elliott Sadler back even on a part-time basis. And I think he said he might even do 1 truck race later on this year. Maybe at Richmond or Martinsville, 1 or 2. So it'll be nice to see Elliott at least 3-4 times at the track this year. I think that's good. Like Dale Jr. coming back for the not Talladega, which I wish we were in Talladega, but still, Darlington's good track. Nice to see some of these guys come back even for one-offs or whatever. Heard even Bill Elliott might come back and do another road course race again this year. May come back and do Road America again, or maybe even Mid-Ohio this year. Good to see people like that come back and do a race here and there. I like to see that. I think that's good for the sport, and I think that would be something that to keep in mind. Now in the Cup Series, I'm gonna go with Martin Truex Jr. to win the race. A lot of people might pick Brad Keselowski or Joey Logano or one of the Busch brothers, which I think would be if you get any one of those 4 or 5 or Kevin Harvick and they win, not a total surprise. Martin Truex Jr., I'm not saying it's a surprise. He'll be a lick up and upset, just a shame. But for all the stuff he's been for with the changing up the team, going from Gibbs to Furniture Row, still technically Gibbs, but now with a Joe Gibbs car, I think now if he wins, I think that validates to him being with Gibbs. It validates him being one of the best drivers in the league right now, and I think because of the last couple of years, I think he is a Hall of Famer because I think he's a NASCAR Hall of Famer, Martin Truex, because he has 2 Xfinity titles already. He has some races won there, and he's won some good races in Cup Series. He has at least a couple majors. He has the Coke 600. I believe he has the, if not the Southern 500, I think it is a Southern 500. So he at least has the Southern 500 and the Coke 600. I want to say he hasn't won a short track. No, he hasn't won Daytona. He hasn't won Talladega. He hasn't won Indianapolis. He got robbed in the 2017 race. I think he could have won that one. So that could be very interesting this year. But those are my picks for the weekend. Let me know in the chats, and then when y'all get a replay of this later, let me know what y'all think. Well, we're out of time right now. And considering I mentioned on my social media, not a lot of people showed up tonight, so kind of a little disappointing, but it is what it is. We'll go back. We'll try it again next week, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on Thursday. If it doesn't look like it's working out, I may move it back to Friday night, maybe Friday around 8 o'clock, because I do get them a little early from work. So maybe I'll move it back to Fridays in March. But we'll see. We'll do one more weekend Thursday for now. If it doesn't work, we'll go back to the Fridays. And maybe we'll try to get some people watching Friday night. But anyway, to my usual closing, and anything you do during the love, 1 Corinthians 16:14. I'll see you guys next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Stewy Reports. Looking forward to having y'all on. Thank you for Zachary for coming up, saying hello, and asking how my day's going. If I haven't already added, subscribe to your channel, I will do that before the end of the at some point. I will subscribe to your channel. Okay, guys, I'm gonna check out a live stream through either IDK or Eric East that right now doing the NASCAR heat free. So I'll be doing that tonight. All right. God bless y'all. God bless the troops. God bless America. God bless Israel. Oh, we got somebody jump on for a second. Hold on. Hello. I didn't know somebody jumped out the last second. You pretty much missed almost the whole show, but better late than never. So say hello, love you all. So at least I can shout you out before I leave in a minute. But just to let you know, in case you want to get back on next week and see the whole show from the start and finish, it'll be from 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll make sure it's on time next week too. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. At least next week. And then after that, I may move it to Fridays for a while on 8 o'clock. Because that's my one day I get off a little early. So we'll see. Because I think Thursday now I've been doing the most talking during the week. And then next week, I do have a little topic outside of sports I would like to talk about. It's one of what I am been working on, getting better on, is how to deal with rejection. No, I done that one already. I take that one back. The next one's going to be things to do with loneliness, but also how to embrace your uniqueness. I might do a couple minute advice on that next week because I think someone asked me to do that a while back. So I will keep that one on the advisement. But anyway, I guess you're not going to shout yourself out and let me know who's on here, but that's okay. But thank you for coming out the last minute. Again, better late than never. Actually, I'll give it a minute. If you have a question for the one person who's watching right now, and you want to ask me a quick question, I'll answer a question real fast. I'll give it about another minute and see if you want to say something. If not, I'll just end these two reports as it is. Let me do a time check. 8:45, 10:15. Oh yeah. I'll just tell you which channel I'm gonna be on in a few minutes. If you want to catch up with me, I don't know why I can't type my messages on the phone yet. I'm still trying to work out the kinks on that. Oh, they have a share feature now. Good. I can share this from now on and start posting on my social media. Good. It'll be a new thing. I just didn't realize it's on my phone. I'll be on IDK Players page, so that's IDK and then player. I know it's underscore or is it space player. I'll be watching him playing some NASCAR Heat 4 for a few minutes as well. And that's it. You can catch me on there for a few minutes enjoying that, and then I'm gonna be getting ready to go to bed because I have to be at work by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, I love you guys. See you guys next Friday night. Next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Until then, peace and good night. Bye. God